Welcome. The Holy Cross Youth Group will be hosting a debate of sorts for the next few minutes. Please keep in mind that what is said on the pro-choice side is not the actual views or opinions of the person saying them. This is a very active pro-life youth group. The first debate will be pro-life versus pro-choice on the nature of preborn life. This is Tristan with the pro-choice side. And this is Chris with the pro-life side.
We acknowledge God as the creator of life. A person is pro-life when she or he believes in the sanctity of human life, from conception to natural death. Also, the pro-life person believes that the government has an obligation to preserve all life, regardless of intent, viability, or quality of life concerns.
See, to be a pro-choice is to believe that each individual woman have an unlimited autonomy with respect to their own reproductive system, and they can exercise the choice of their preference. Regarding a pregnancy, the mother has a right to determine to complete the term or to choose an abortion. It's just a blob of tissue, not a baby.
The preborn child has a heartbeat at the end of the first week. When surgical abortions are performed in the mid to late first trimester, the baby has arms, legs, feet, hands, formed as a human.
We don't know when life begins.
Embryological textbooks and even pro-choice advocates concede that the human life begins when the egg and sperm unite.
Even though biological life begins at conception, we don't know when personhood begins.
The point at which rights of personhood should be granted is not something we know or don't know. It's something we decide. We grant rights to people we value, and we deny people we don't.
The preborn child doesn't have enough size, ability to feel pain, viability, self-awareness to be granted rights of personhood.
Such qualities develop over time. A newborn is even smaller, less developed, less aware, and more dependent than a young adult. That doesn't make him less of a human. There is plenty of technological evidence showing that a baby is suffering pain during an abortion.
Our second debate will be pro-life versus pro-choice on the rights of women. Pro-choice will be played by Mariah. And pro-life will be played by Jacob.
It's my body. I can do with what I want with it.
When you are pregnant, there's another body, the baby's body. Nobody should have the right to tear a baby's body into pieces.
Even if the preborn has an inherent right to life, this right is superseded by the mother's right to autonomy.
Nobody has an unconstrained right to autonomy. We require parents to use their bodies to care for their child. This responsibility lasts forever, even though the law states it is 18 years.
If a woman is pregnant by rape, compassion demands that she be allowed to abort it.
As horrible as abortion is, the baby is still innocent of any crime. Nobody should be killed for the crime of another person. Abortion does not undo or mitigate the rape, and there is evidence that abortion further compounds the harm that has already been done to her. If the mother does not want to have the baby, she should consider the choice of giving him or her for adoption. There is currently more than 2 million American couples unable to conceive, and they do not have the money necessary to go to a foreign country to adopt a baby. While the baby may bring bad memories to the mother, it will definitely bring a lot of love and happiness to a couple.
If the pregnancy was unexpected or a mistake, the mother has a right to erase the mistake and having an abortion and getting rid of it.
Abortion does not just murder children, but it also hurts all whom it touches. Women who have abortions are 81% more likely to experience subsequential health problems like anxiety, depression, alcoholism, drug abuse, and suicidal behavior. Also, complications of abortion include future risk of premature birth and low birth weight and higher risk of maternal death. And that's all I have to say about that.
The third debate will be on pro-life versus pro-choice on the quality of life arguments. Matthew will be pro-choice. And I will be pro-life.
If a baby is horribly deformed, it would be better to spare him from a life of suffering by aborting him.
Nobody has the right to kill another person because he perceives that that other person might have a low quality of life.
It's better to abort a child than for him to live as an unwanted child.
Unwanted. We would never kill a born child simply because his parents decided they don't want him anymore.
Forcing people to have children leads to more child abuse.
Excuse me. Dr. Edward Lanowski, professor of pediatrics at USC, reported that 91% of abused children are very much wanted before birth.
If we end abortion, we'll go back to thousands of women dying from back alley abortions.
Whoa now. In 1960, Planned Parenthood reported that 84% to 87% of all illegal abortions were performed by licensed physicians. In 1972, the year before Roe v. Wade, 39 women died from illegal abortions. Each of those deaths was a tragedy, but every abortion is a tragedy because it kills a living human being. Our somewhat final debate will be pro-life versus pro-choice on the role of government. Noah will be pro-choice. And Dalton will be pro-life.
Issues of personal discretion are best left to the person. The government should not interfere with that decision.
Boo! The primary purpose of the government is to protect fundamental rights. That's why we have laws against rape, murder, and child neglect.
Whoa, constitutionally, there's a right to abortion.
Abortion is not referenced at all in the U.S. Constitution. Roe v. Wade was not a judicial decision as much as a legislation imposed from the bench.
The government has the obligation to provide women with low reason as a part of want or need of social services.
The obligation of the government is to educate people on making wise decisions in their lives. Respect and dignity to themselves and others is expected in our society. The government does not have the right to spend the money of others in paying for incorrect actions or decisions of other individuals, especially when these have immoral consequences. Thank you.
The government does not have the right to supervise abortion clinics.
Like any other, an abortion clinic have to be licensed and in compliance with all the state regulations. Because it deals with the irreplaceable life of a woman, it needs even more supervision regarding the procedures, sterilization of instruments, certification of the staff, emergency preparedness to protect the life of women going there and to assure their proper care.
A rap is pro-choice, I'ma make some noise. You get concentration, blow your mind inception. Just a little tissue, why is it an issue? No one feels the pain, nothing lost or gained. Dispose of the baby, it's up to the lady. Just cause this life, that means she ready. When personhood begins, yeah, we don't know. Got any questions at my girl Jane Rowe? Here's another term of autonomy. The rap is a comedy full hypocrisy. I am with a novelty, facts from history. Paint of society, you pressure in the mind. You slurring where it's slappery, argument is quality, and quite possibly a new philosophy. Switch it up, cause the end is near. Fixing last words, let's be crystal clear. Don't have to have a child, man, abortion ain't that wild. Paints it in my flow, yeah. Had to show ya, That's my view, yeah. See what you can do.
Pro-life is fun. I like having fun. Being pro-life is like listen to Vanilla Ice. Life is no joke. God will help you along the way. Get on your knees and pray. He can help you take that leap of faith. Your words are slurred and mine are heard. Jane Roe was an idiot and y'all about to get learned. Tons of people on the march for life. Keep that baby, you can be a good wife. Taking the life of the baby is murder. The mom can face health problems that could hurt her. No one has the right to decide a baby's fate. Back off, man, stop the player hate. The purpose of the government is to protect our right. If they don't stop pro-choice, then I'm gonna pick a fight. If the Bible was a rhyme, I'd rap every line. Obama must be blind if he thinks that abortion's not a crime. A smaller life is worth just as much as mine. How does society think that this is not a crime? How much longer are you gonna take? Don't you know that a baby's life is at stake? Open your eyes, man, pro-life is no joke. If you aren't pro-life, man, I'll kick you in the throat. The Holy Cross Youth Group.